Hi friends, welcome to today's live stream. My name is Anne-Marie.
And I'm John. Friends, we're really happy that you guys are here with us today live. Hello.
It's good to see you all, and as you may know, you've probably seen Studio Classroom in the news the last few days. Our founder, Doris Brome, went home to be with the Lord this week. So we are working through that personally and as a company. While we're very sad that she had to leave us, we had 98 wonderful years with her, and we know that she is in a better place now.
Did you know it's pretty amazing? Doris is actually almost the same age that Marilyn Monroe would be.
Somebody said that earlier today, and it really blew my mind. It's incredible.
So she's had, like you say, 98 amazing years. She's been such a blessing to us personally here, even in the few years that I've gotten to know her in Taiwan, but also, as we know, the blessing of her life to Taiwan, and especially English education, right, has just been immeasurable. You know, it's hard to know how many lives it's affected. I know we've been getting a lot of people writing in and sharing memories, so thank you guys for that.
Yeah, we have a lot of comments here on the YouTube channel. I've gotten some on my personal Instagram as well. We've seen comments on Facebook. Hi, Steve. Thank you for being here. I just want to read a couple of these comments we've gotten. I'm not going to read the Chinese. I'll just kind of simply translate them to English. But a lot of people are saying thank you to Doris for her dedication to teaching English in Taiwan. Thank you so much for your selfless sacrifice. So many people are saying that they listened to Studio Classroom or listened to teacher Doris when they were young, all the way up until now. It's just amazing what a legacy she has left.
It's true. And as actually comes with her dying, which will sound strange if you don't yet know Jesus, but because Jesus came back from the dead 2024 years ago, right? That's why we measure time the way we do.
And that's why we say we're just so happy that she's gone home now, because we know that she has gone to be with the Lord. One of the things that going to continue on with our normal English lesson that we've had planned since since last week. And I do apologize. I have allergies really bad right now, friends, so my voice isn't super great. John, you might have to do a little more talking today.
No problem. Hey friends, I hope you can hear us out there. How's the sound doing? Can you guys hear the sound there? Maybe just make a post. We're back on. All right, we were just talking about Doris's life and the blessing that she's been to us, also her love for Jesus and for Taiwan. But like you said, time to keep going. What is our subject for today?
Well, we are talking about a topic from our August magazine, truth bombs. So first of all, we asked a question on our community page. What was that question, John?
The question to you all was, do you think honesty is the best policy in all situations? There's a famous expression, honesty is the best policy, that we use a lot. And we asked you guys that question. 70% of people are saying yes, it is. About 30% of people are saying no, honesty is not the best policy in all situations. What do you think?
Well, I would generally say that yes, honesty is the best policy, but you don't always need to say what you're thinking.
That's right. You know, there's this Bible verse that a foolish person just says everything that's on their heart, but a wise person is able to keep silent at the right time.
That's right. Okay, so before we start talking about the rest of our content, let's define what a truth bomb is. What is a truth bomb, John?
Okay, it's a statement, you know, something you say that might seem shocking to the recipient, but is the truth. So if you just say something really surprising to someone, it's the truth, and it feels like a bomb hitting them.
Yeah, because they're maybe surprised by the information, and almost when you tell them the information, it's kind of like you know they're going to have a bad reaction.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes with this. Like if you just suddenly told your friend, I hate your cooking, and they're like, what? You know, sometimes we say these truth bombs in anger. So we'll talk more about truth bombs.
All right, well, friends, if you haven't voted on the poll yet, go ahead and make sure that you do that now. Do you think honesty is the best policy? If you think it's not, I want to know why. Go ahead and put that down in the comments.
By the way, really quickly, I do think honesty is the best policy in all situations, because if you actually lie, you're just going to have to keep covering that up. There's this saying, the truth will set you free. We'll talk more about that. But I do think honesty is important, but also knowing when to not say something is helpful.
Absolutely. So friends, this lesson is taken from page 46 and 47 of your magazine. And there's a quote from page 47 that we want to share with you right now from the article. It says, "Truth bombs rarely lead to productive discussion because they trigger a defensive reaction." Okay. There are a lot of big words in there. Let's break that down.
Okay, well, trigger, like the trigger is the part of the gun you pull and it shoots a bullet. So if something triggers something else, it means it quickly starts this fast reaction. And a defensive reaction, no problem. God bless you. The defensive reaction is when you feel the need to protect or defend yourself, right? So that's why we say these truth bombs are rarely productive. They rarely help a relationship get better.
Oh, Steve has a comment here about
Steve.
Speaking the truth. "I imagine sometimes saying the truth can cause friendships to get damaged and break them up. So sometimes he tries to hide the truth." I'm curious to find out how that turned out for you, Steve. Sometimes hiding the truth can seem like a solution for the time being, but in the long run, it causes a lot of problems. Thank you so much for that comment, Steve.
Yeah, and it depends on the relationship, right? Like you're married, I'm married. So with my wife, it's really important not to just hide. You want to have a deep, honest relationship. Maybe if there's someone at the store you see every so often and they do something that bugs you, maybe don't even say it. But it kind of depends on the needs of the relationship.
That's true. Not all relationships are the same.
Yeah.
I think the important thing to know about truth bombs, though, friends, is that a lot of times the reason someone is dropping a truth bomb isn't to encourage conversation or encourage some kind of discussion. It's often done in a way that's intended to hurt.
Yeah, just shut someone down, we sometimes say. Okay, so now a question for you, for us. Do you like when people tell you things directly or say things in a roundabout way?
Why don't you answer this first?
Okay, roundabout means kind of indirectly. Wow, this is actually a hard question. I like when people tell me the truth because it's extra valuable and it saves me the time, maybe even protects me from some problem. That being said, I don't always like the way it feels to hear the truth.
The truth can be hard to take the first time you hear it.
In fact, I usually hate the way it feels to hear the truth. Sometimes we say the honest truth or the difficult truth. So I usually hate the feeling, but deep in my heart, I really want people to be direct, honest with me, save me the time. It might even save my life,
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I do like it when people give me feedback directly because I can't change the problem if I don't even know the problem exists.
Right. Yeah.
However, I think we do need to make a note here of a cultural difference. I have noticed since moving to Asia that sometimes when I speak directly to people, they don't always take it in a good way. And I'm not saying that they don't like to take the truth. I'm saying the way I say things has to be changed sometimes so that people don't misunderstand my intentions.
This is really interesting because your language students, we all are language students. So the words themselves aren't always enough, right? What do people think when they hear your words? It can be really tricky. Yeah, sometimes in the West, the speed of communication is different. The way we say things.
The way we even express facts, I think, is different as well, too.
Yeah, sometimes. And it also depends where you're from. In the U.S., people in the southern U.S. say things at a different speed than people in the northern U.S. In California, we tend to be kind of slower with our communication. In New York, people are very direct, very forward. And that might be seen as rude, even in the same country.
That's totally true. Steve has another comment here. Steve says, no, because if someone telling the truth He'll probably feel really sad when he hears that truth, and maybe try to just give himself some space. Maybe you just need more time to process these things, Steve. Even though things hurt our feelings, sometimes it's still important for us to hear the truth.
Yeah, processing. How do we process that? Steve, I think you're bringing up, thank you, by the way, for sharing, and good job on your English. There's this other word here that's part of this conversation, and that is the word blunt. You know, if something is blunt, what does that mean?
It means that this is said in a very direct way, and it's saying exactly what you think, but you don't take the time to try to say it in a polite way. We all know blunt people. We all know people who just like to say what they think. And sometimes that's part of people's personality, and sometimes it's just because we haven't taken the time to think about how our words affect others.
That's right. You know, like, I love my blunt friends, and I personally find them valuable, but sometimes being blunt can cause trouble if people aren't ready to hear that. You know what I mean? Jesus had a follower that was very blunt, and he called him a man without guile, G-U-I-L-E. Guile means trickiness. So he's like, this guy is just so honest. He says what's on his mind. So being blunt is not always bad, but it's not necessarily the most wise way to communicate all the time.
Are you a blunt person, friends? Go ahead and put your answer in the comments. I can be very blunt. I have had to, over the years, change the way I communicate with people so that people don't misunderstand me. Sometimes saying exactly what you think and saying it very directly can cause people to misunderstand you.
Well, yeah, because speaking is one thing, but hearing is a whole separate thing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So being blunt. By the way, the word blunt is often used when we're talking about if something is sharp or not,
that's
right?
true.
So like, if I'm talking about a knife, oh, this knife is so blunt, I can't cut my sandwich, right? Blunt means not sharp. So if something is blunt, it's just like all the truth at once. But I actually value that you are often blunt. Sometimes it really saves time. But you know, who knows?
Some people appreciate it more than others. I will say that. But there is something else we want to talk about here, friends. And as we go on to this final point, we really want you to ask any questions that you have right now about this topic. If you have a question, now's the time to put it in the comments. I wanted to talk about a phrase that also comes from the Bible, and that is the idea of speaking the truth in love.
Yes, I think this is like really, really important because we know honesty is important, right? Like, God doesn't lie. This is one of the first things you learn about God. Like, he's so honest that when he says something, it gets created. So like, God doesn't lie, so he wants us to speak the truth. But then, like, what about when something is difficult or the truth hurts? Well, that's why you have to put it in love. Like, what is your reason for speaking the truth?
Yeah, I think this all comes down to motivation, because maybe you want to say something that's true but will hurt someone else. Why are you trying to do that? Is it going to help them grow? Is it going to make them better? Or are you just trying to hurt someone?
That's right. I hope you know that word, motivation. M-O-T-I-V-A-T-I-O-N. Did I get it right?
You got it right.
I'll be on the spelling bee next. Motivation, like, what is your reason for doing something? Again, we've been talking a lot about Doris. One of Doris's main motivations was love, really trying to help people get free from the things that are holding them down and help bring them into a bright future, both here on earth and in heaven.
That's right.
Yeah.
Friends, we're so glad that you've joined us for our live stream today. It has been really great talking with you about this topic. If you have anything that you want to say about Doris or any comments for us, feel free to leave them under the video. We have another live stream coming up on August 22nd, so make sure you are here for that. We'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us, friends.
Bye.